Okay, we are right now live stream again, and let's do the first steps after we install the system. First of all, you have to know some basic things about this. This is the what we call the prompt. This is named as the prompt, and the prompt it has two separators, two brackets. Then you have student. Student is the user that's log on now. User logged on, and then you have the at command. This is a separator, and localhost is the host name of the machine right now. Has since we didn't give any host name, it appears as localhost. And then you have the till. The till means that you are in the home of the user. Okay, so in this case, if you do a first command like printing a working directory, you'll find out that right now you are at home student. When you add a new user, this command is present working directory. It says, or it shows in which directory you are on, or you are in. And so right now you are at the home student. All the users, most of the users have a home folder that stays directly inside the directory home, and generally comes also with a username. You can also check who am I, and it says that you are a student, or you can say who am I, and here it doesn't shows what is your this is not a terminal. This terminal is a emulated terminal by the graphical interface. And right now it says that you are a student, and if you say who, it will inform how many users are logged in and where are their login. So you've got a user here in terminal 1 that is logged in. This is where you are running the interface. Now, since you are working with VirtualBox, you press the hostname command, the hostname key, that is the right control key, and then you press F1 and you go straight ahead to a new terminal. You can log in as root, for instance, and you say the password, and if you say the command, if you write the command tty, it'll show you that you are right now in the second terminal. If you press Control F4, function 4, you can log in as the user. The user is student, and the password of the student. And if you write a command tty, you'll show that you are at terminal 4. So in Linux you have 7 terminals from F1 to F7, and the graphical normally it's working on terminal 1 or in terminal 7. It depends on the distribution, Linux distribution. And so let's go, and you got another subject here. I'm going to copy, and if you press Control plus F1, till F7. This is Control plus Alt. If you are in a real host with Linux, you'll change terminal. Since you are working in VirtualBox or under the VirtualBox, you'll press Control, right Control, and plus F1 to F7. Okay. Now, there are a few commands here that you can understand, but since you want to install HTTP, that's a package from Apache, the name of the service that you're going to install in CentOS, first of all you have to configure network interface. You could do right here on the upper corner, the right upper corner, you'll have network connection and you can connect any of this interface. But since we are working as a server, generally you don't have this interface, the graphical interface, and you have to do it by hand or directly on the terminal. So first thing, you have to find out where is the configuration file where you can place the configuration for the interface. So one of the best ways you have to do, you have to find, and then on find you say they're going to find from the root, and you'll find for a name. And in CentOS and Red Hat and Fedora, the configurations are stored in the file that always begin with EF, it means interface configuration, and then you press the star key and they will try to find it where this information is. And you have got a lot of information. Let's restrict our finding by saying that we're going to start looking from etc. etc. It's a directory that has everything, etc. So when you try to find it from here, you'll find out that there are at least 3 files, since there is an interface for loopback adapter, another one for NP0S3, NP0S8. So here are the places where you have to change the configuration of the file. So doing so, you will have the possibility to find files to change interface configuration. Okay. So let's go inside this directory. So you'll do cd change directory. You go from the root, you go by etc, then size sysconfig network scripts, and you get inside this working directory. Here it is. After you get there, there are so other comments. There are a lot of comments. Okay, I'm going to say this is a comment that is quite used, that it's ls. ls means for list structure, and it lists directories and files. The syntax for for this comment, it could be quite complex. Generally it's ls, then you've got here some options, many options, and then you have the path, and you can also have the file name or the directory or the directory. But what are the options for ls? So we've got the manual page. This is another command. This is man. Man means for manual pages, and it helps commands usage. So generally the syntax, it has also other options, but it's man and then the command. So if you want to know how to work with ls, you'll do man ls, and then you've got here information how to use this command. Got a lot of options there, free directory, format, a lot of information. How can you leave this? You'll press the key, and you can also do ls, and most of the commands you can also get help by doing ls minus minus help, and it will give a shorted help about the command. So another way is what we have done was man ls, or you can do ls minus minus help. Okay, they aren't the same. Sometimes they have the same information, but most times man has more information than the command itself against help. So if you'll do ls minus al, you'll find out that you've got a lot of information here, and here are the files, and this, it's a different file, and some of them are green and some are black. Now just let's find what's the information about that file over there. So the last command that I've done was ls minus l, and here you have to know how to read the information about this file. All these characters here, the R and double and the minus signs that are here, represents information, and the first one that's over there, it represents what kind of file it is. Okay. When you have a minus, it means that's a file. If you have a D, it's a directory. If you have, as you can check here, if you have an L, it's a link. If you are used to Windows, it's the same, more or less the same meaning. So you can have also C, for instance, for char, and you can have B for block, and generally this kind of characters are for files that you can find. I'm going to open another terminal, so I'll press Shift Control T, and I hope I open another terminal. So here a note, Shift plus shift. It's almost the same thing. Shift Control plus T opens another terminal. So in this terminal, generally those files that began with C or B are located in the dev directory. Let's look, ls-l dev, and right now you can see that there are some files here that began with a C. This one are the drivers that where the Linux communicate with the devices, the hard devices. This is for communication, for instance, with terminals. You've got this is a directory, this is a link, this is a block. So in this case, when the kernel wants to read or write information from disk, it uses a block file. And other blocks, just for instance for memory, I don't know if you can, this is for lock, and here is for disk also, and well, must be here some for memory, CD-ROM, where is it, dial out, character, and the communication data is made with these files. They are on serial, and they have different ways of communication. I won't pronounce them right now. So let's go back where we are. The file itself, then you have the three letters, the first three letters. This is the information regarding the user. So this is permissions. Will be user permission or owner permissions. Okay. Of course, R means read, write, and is missing there an X for execute. R for read, so the user has the ability to read the file, ability to write the file, and is missing there an X. It's for execute the file. Now, the other three characters, they are for group permissions. And who are the user and the group? If you look here, you've got the first name that appears here. This is the name of the user that owns this file. So the root has permissions to read, write on this file. The second name, it's the same, because in Linux you have a user and a primary group that generally is, or must be, or should be, in most cases, the name of the user. So a user, when you add a user to a system, you'll add the user, and the system will add also a group with the same name. So in this case, this file, the user can read, write, and execute, and the group, the other users that belong to this group, can also read on the file. And the other three characters are for the others. Who are the others? Other users. The other users are those who is not the owner, or they don't belong to the group. These are the other users. So if you look at this information, you'll find out other things. This is the size of the file, when it was created, and the name of the file. So if you look here, and since we are working as a student, right now we are student, we have no permissions to write on this file. You can read it, but we can't write the file. Now there is another comment that says the cat comment, that the cat comment, it concatenates, or it reads files, more or less reads text files. or and the syntax from this command, something like cat, then you have here some options, and then you have the path, and you have file name, and you can read multiple files. So you can have path n and file name n. So you can read more than one file at the same time. So you can read that file xfce np0s3 or 8. You can read the inside of the file, but you can't change it because you have no permissions to change this file. We're going to try to change the file, and right now there are some editors. I'm going to only to show to you some editors. One of the editors are, for instance, Nano. I think it's not installed. Nano, it's the easiest and perhaps the most used in many cases. Nano, for instance, I'm going to create here a file, hello mummy, and you say that right now Nano is, you don't know what Nano is because it's not installed, but instead you've got another editor, quite old but also quite good. It's Vim or V, the VI or Vim, that is VI improved. If you say hello mummy, you can right now use this file. There are a lot of information. So cat, the command that we did was, I'm going to quit here. I'm going to show you how does this work. So cat here shows us what's the inside of the file. Okay. So to edit the file, edit exfce/np0s8, you have to be a root, since you are editing a file that is quite sensible in terms of security and operation of the system. So to change the information that's inside this file, you have to be someone with capabilities to do so, and therefore you're going to change, saying that is substitute user or system user. That's another command, and su, and you pass, it will ask the password from root. You write the password. Generally it should be well written, password, and right now if you say who, this is who I am, and we are now as root. So here, change to root. Perhaps you are used to use the sudo, right? But we haven't installed sudo. The system was quite clean. We haven't installed the sudo service that allows us, or some users that are in the sudo files, to behave as a root user. So right now when you go to root, you change the information of your prompt begins to be just like this. Right now look, you are as root, and the information here that I didn't explain, it's different, and this means that you are working as root. Work as root. So right now you have the possibility to change that file, since the root user is the same owner of this file and has the possibility to read and write the file. Before we go working on Vim, let me explain something about Vim. So write Vim and say, write a name. Hello, mummy. Hello, mummy. Now the Vim when you are working with Vim, you've got two areas. I'm going to say, and you've got two areas. You've got one area here below where when you give the comments, you control what is happening inside the file, and this area that right now it's empty, it's where you write the text or read the text. So you only have to know a few commands just to work with in the beginning. Commands for Vim or VI, since it's the same thing. You've got I, it says for insert, so you begin write on file. You can also A for append, so you append information to the text, append information to the text, and you have, these are the main commands. You have also Q. It means that you are going to quit the file, and you have also double, that means you're going to write the file, and you can have also X, that means you're going to exit and save the file. And you can also do double Q, can use, you say that save and quit, it's the same as X. Or if you want to leave without saving, you have to press question and then Q, and then leaves without saving. But when you are inside the file, I'm going to press I. Right now, look, it seems here appears insert, so I begin to write something. Hello, mommy. Here I am. It's a sunny day. Blah, blah, blah. So you want to quit this file, you have to press escape key. The escape key, it's upper left corner of your keyboard. So to get to the command, to go to the command in Vim, press escape key. Okay, only then you'll do 2 point and all of one of these commands here. So look, I write now escape, it's nothing here in the last column, in the last line, so you press 2 points and then quit. If you press only one time quit, the Vim doesn't allows you to exit the file. It says no write since last change, add to overwrite it. So you have to escape again, points, and then you press, oh sorry, it's it went to shell, quit, and then like this. So you exit. This is wrong, sorry, this is opposite. If you press, you're going to, so you have to press key and then you have to press 2 point. Okay, where can you find help about Vim? First of all, there is a Vim tutor. Generally, it's installed, where you can have some informations regarding how to use it. And this is quite nice, and you can learn how to use it. To exit, press double key, and then you exit. Help for Vim. So you have Vim tutor. There are also other places. Let me open here. For instance, there is Open Vim tutor, I think. Let me check. openvim.com. This is a good site where you can learn the basic things to work with Vim. You can go straight here in this side and see how it works. Go to the end, you'll do the tutorial that is written here. For instance, right now it says that he wants to press 0, and you go straight ahead to the end. If you want to go to the top, you press Shift and 4, and 0 again, and so on. So you've got Vim tutor site. Oh, sorry, I should copy it. Not here. Here. This is a good site. Now there is also a place where you can play with that is Vim Adventures. Vim Adventures, I think. Adventures.com. I suppose it's this address. Check. No. Vim Adventures. Vim Adventures. It's the site where you can go and okay. This is also a good place where you got it, and here you have to use these keys, and then you go on straight on the game, and you may learn. Look, press L. Yippee! And now you can okay. So this is also a good place where you can learn Vim tutor. Well, sometimes Nano it's easier, really, but if you want to work with Linux, you should have or use a good text editor, and this is the Vim is one of the best there is. Okay, so let's right now configure the interface. We are working as root, and we want to configure the interface. You want to configure the interface. The interface that we want to configure is this one, and this interface here we want to give this IP address, and this is the interface that you want to configure, and you want it to be static. So since it will be a server, it won't be needed to change, and right now you're going to do it so vim ifcfg, this is mean interface configuration, and p0s8, and you begin to open the file. Now right now, as you can check, we are working on editing mode. We are not writing, we are on common mode, if you wish. There's a lot of information here. You can check also in the Centos forum about what is meaning IPv6, user ID information, device. I'm going to only to place here the information that is needed to work with. So you press I and type is internet proxy method. You can delete this line. To delete it, of course, you have the delete method. Now, the good thing about Vim is that you can delete many informations on the line. For instance, if you press V from visual, You've got here visual, and on visual now you can press down key and you are selecting all those lines. And so you select all of them, and now you press D from delete, and it deletes the files and also the name. Okay. But since we need also other lines, and right now you don't know how to use those lines, let's use a file that is already on the system, and then we change that file. So we're going to quit, escape, 2 points, Q, question, and we leave the file without changing. If you do a cat xfce 8, you'll find out that the file is just the same. We didn't do any changes. So what we're going to do is going to copy one file. So to copy xfce low up or up to xfce / np0s8. We're going to use this file as a standard, and then we're going to change it. So to do this thing, we'll do copy cp. This is also another command. There's a lot of commands here. So we've got the command. You've got cp. cp means for copy files. Okay, and the syntax, small syntax for this command will be copy. Then you've got options here. Then you have the path. This is origin path. And then you've got files or file name. And then you have destination path, where you're going to copy, and if you wish you can also change the new file name. Okay, this is so right now we're going to copy the file xfce / low up to this file over here. So I'm going to copy, use option V means for verbose. Okay, there's a lot of option V means for verbose. Many comments that you'll use will have this option, verbose. It means that you're going to show on the what you are doing, what is happening when you are doing that command. So copy ifg low, copy up to the np0s8. So when you copy, it says, do you want to override this file? Yes. So yes, and it copies over the other file. Oops, sorry. Here. Now, after copy, now you can edit the file. Vim xfce np0s8, and right now this file is quite different. So we only need to do some modifications here. First, this is quite important in the configuration in Centos or Red Hat files. Yeah, you need help. Here on device, you have to place the exact name that you have on here. Look, the name of the file was np0s8. So this file, this name here, must be exactly the same. Now you've got IP address, and IP address will be 192.168.10.200. Net mask. Net mask will be 255.255.0, and the network will be 192.168.10.0, and the broadcast 192.168.10.255. Now this is a name for an NM CLI. We're not using it, but you can also say that's the same name of upper, but it's not needed. And these two lines, you can delete them. And look, right now I am in insert mode. I'll press escape. I leave. I am in common mode, and now I'll press 2 and then DD, and it deletes the file. Those two lines. I'm going to copy this information. I'll place it here. So we added the file vim efcfg and p0s8, and this is the content of the file. And okay, after, you have to restart the network interface or the system, or if you want, you can bring them up. You'll do if down, just for precaution. You can do if down, and p0s8, you put it down, and then you can bring it up. And if you say IP address, now we find out that the NP0S8 has already the IP address that we gave them. So I conclude this video for now. Now you have time to work on it, and then we'll be back soon. Okay? I'll send you the file right away. Just a second. Let me finish the file here and